For those who are just tuning in, I am Davina Cherie, and you're listening to R&B Dreams. What you were just listening to is happening still on the YouTube live channel. So you want to go to phillyhotradio.com to listen to what they're saying as far as financial. She's going to bring some information about, finances and things that are Biden is doing. Some of the relief packages and things that, help us get our money up, a little bit. But, yeah, if you want to tune in to that, just go ahead and go to the YouTube channel, Philly Hot Radio. And we're going to get started, Dr. Umar.
Right.
So we were just talking about, before she started getting into the financial stuff, she just wanted to vent about Derrick Jackson.
Yes.
What do you think is, as far as that whole situation with Derrick Jackson?
Well, with regard to the Derrick Jackson situation, I was unfamiliar with him.
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard the name until a few days ago.
Okay.
People started sending me the video, and they said that the radical black feminists on YouTube is starting a movement to shut down all of the male life coaches. So I was taken aback.
Who is the radical?
Radical black feminists.
Okay.
Which is basically sisters who see the black male.
Oh, so it's not any one person.
It's not
okay, you're just saying as a group. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Sisters who see the black male as the source of all of the black woman's problems. If there's a problem that the black woman has, it's the black man's fault. So they don't see racism, they don't see lack of opportunity, they don't see the black woman, all they see is the black man. It's always his fault. And the message was they intended to start a campaign to destroy all prominent black male life coaches on YouTube. So people were sending it to me as a warning or a heads up. So I took offense to it because unlike the Derrick Jacksons and the Kevin Samuels of the world, I actually have credentials. They don't. I'm actually a clinician. They're not. You understand? I actually been in the mental health field for 20 years. They haven't. And life coaching is probably the smallest piece of my overall puzzle of services that I offer to the community. Now, with that being said, looking at the Derrick Jackson situation, there were certain contradictions I saw on the part of the sisters who were quote unquote exposing him. And I hate that word. But one contradiction, if you're doing this so his wife will know, if you're doing this to protect the sister involved, why not go to her confidentially, let her know what's been going on, and let her decide what she wants to do with it? Because if you look at the video that she did, it doesn't appear that she was in shock at all about what she heard. 9 times out of 10, she already knew what the man was doing because there was no shock on her part. None. There was no surprise whatsoever. So for these women to be arguing that they're exposing Derrick Jackson to protect his wife, that is a total misrepresentation of the truth because you're disrespecting her more than you're disrespecting him because you're making her look bad, you're making her look like a fool, and you're just constantly putting out his information, which is a reflection on her as the wife. So that was feminist hypocrisy, number one. Number two, when I look at a lot of these women who are doing these Derrick Jackson expose videos, I don't see any responsibility being laid at the feet of the women involved. All of them knew what they were doing. All of them knew what they were doing. Nobody has held them accountable yet. So the woman who voluntarily gets involved with the married man is a victim all of a sudden.
How about that?
And the total blame is put on the black male. And he was wrong. He had no right to be cheating on his wife. And he had no right, allegedly, bringing a woman into their home. Allegedly telling them that his wife's sex wasn't good. Allegedly.
You telling the tea, Dr. Umar. I didn't know about all that.
And allegedly not being forthcoming about the fact he had children. If those allegations are true, that's wrong. I can respect a man who says to these women, I'm married, I love my family, my kids, what we do is what we do, but if it never comes to my wife, At least you're being upfront.
Right.
But if he told them he was leaving his wife, then that was leading them on. Because now they can say, you told me that you guys were breaking up. But regardless, y'all knew he was still married at the time. You understand? And you still entered into a relationship with a married man knowing he was married. So it should be equal blame. And when I hear people say things like, well, those women were not a part of his marriage. They didn't take the wedding vow. Derrick Jackson took the wedding vow. True. Well, to me, that is just as hypocritical as not holding the women involved responsible. Because we are a community. And as a community, as a black woman, you are just as accountable to his wife as he is. Where is the sisterhood? Where is the community? Where is the all for one, one for all? To say these women are not responsible for what they did because they didn't take a marriage vow is the most European thing I heard all week. If you are a black woman and you care about other black women, then what you did to his wife is just as bad as what he did, if not worse. Let me say this and I'll be quiet. I don't like the way that this looks to the young people. See, I'm always, coming from a school psychologist perspective, I'm always looking at how does this appear to our young people? And when black boys, teenagers, see black women gang up on a black man and spend every day, all day long, trying to destroy him, there was nothing wrong with addressing it. But we got other issues. We got miseducation issues. We got homelessness issues. We got police genocide issues. We got gentrification issues. We got mass incarceration issues, access to wealth issues. We have so many problems. We are a people in a state of emergency. You don't have time to do 50 million Derrick Jackson videos, and if you got time to do 50 million Derrick Jackson videos, something is wrong with you. You see, and it means that you're doing it for fame, you're doing it for attention, you're doing it for likes, you're doing it for views, you're doing it for YouTube dollars. Because if you were doing it for the benefit of the community, you would have done it another way. You would have got away from it after you finished and found something else to focus upon. But our boys are watching this. And it's feeding this energy that some toxic males are putting out in the community that black women ain't worth the black man's time. See, I don't want when a 15, 16, and 17-year-old black boy who's politically uneducated turns on YouTube and see a whole army of black women attacking this one black man day after day after day, and then absolving the women involved of any blame whatsoever, it starts reinforcing that narrative that you should go get you a white girl, go get you a Latino, go get you a Chinese, go get you an Indian, go get you a Jew, you understand? Go get you a Mexican, because they know how to treat a man. So by doing this, they're perpetuating a narrative that is going to have our black boys thinking that they should not be committed to black women. I don't like that. And on the flip side, it's going to feed the negative narrative of a lot of radical black feminists who are teaching our girls that the black men ain't worth their time. So on both sides of the aisle, the way the women are handling this and the way that the man is being perceived is going to feed into negative stereotypes that our children are seeing all day long anyway. For example, most of the major advertising right now is either interracial couples or mixed race couples. You understand? Biracial and interracial. You don't see a lot of black man, black woman advertising. You don't see a lot of black woman, black man sitcoms and miniseries and movies anymore. Everything is interracial or biracial. And by reinforcing this whole Derrick Jackson saga, it ain't even about Derrick Jackson. It's about the way black women feel and relate to black men. And it's about the way black men feel and relate to black women. It is a reality show that is just as dangerous as the reality shows that we see played out on television. We're creating a consciousness around black romance and black love that's going to send a lot of our teenagers and a lot of our sons and daughters looking for a mate from another race.
So you missed the I want to say Bill Cosby. I can't even say the Bill Cosby, the show, because it's like, dang, even it's a stigma with Bill Cosby. But so you want those days back, the black family sitcoms, and
well,
those kind of things.
Not sitcom though, right. Drama. See, black life in America is not comedy. It's drama. Every day you wake up in Philadelphia, somebody's getting shot. That's drama. Philadelphia leads America in gentrification. That's drama. So the black reality should not be made a joke. We don't need any more sitcoms because sitcoms eat away at the reality of our experience. We don't need to be making jokes about the black family. We don't need to be making jokes about the black husband, the black wife, the black children, because you're taking away from the reality of our situation. We need dramas. I wasn't against the Cosby Show, but the Cosby Show, to some extent, was a misrepresentation of everyday black reality. Don't get me wrong. I see no problem with projecting a successful black male as a doctor and a successful black female as an attorney in the same house with children, because that does happen. So I have no problem with projecting that, but I don't think the Cosby Show had enough real moments in it. I don't think the Cosby Show had enough of the true encounters that black people go through on a regular basis to give it a real feeling. So even if they live in the suburbs, you could have showed a lot more about racism. You could have showed a lot more about poverty. I felt the Cosby Show was a distraction away from what the everyday black family really goes through, but could have been a blessing had they injected more of the everyday real life experiences for black people. But the reason they don't do that, the reason with these sitcoms, they don't put enough real life racism in them, is they're trying to attract the non-black viewer. They want white people to watch the Cosby Show. They want white people to watch Blackish. They want white people to watch these shows. And if you put too much racism in it, too much real life blackness in it, white people won't watch it. That's why none of the shows cater to black people really address the needs of black people, because you want to make sure white people don't turn it off. If there's one thing white people do not like, they do not like to see a mirror held up to themselves with regard to how they treat black people. The first of all white privileges, is the privilege to never be held accountable by how you treat black people. That's the first of all white privileges.
So, before I'm going to touch back real quick, with the Derrick Jackson situation, I agree to a certain extent. However, I just think the whole it even being on social media thing is just like, every day he's on there preaching about, what guys need to do better. But it's like, he's preaching, is it because he was actually doing those things himself? It takes one to know one,
Oh, he was a hypocrite.
It's like, we don't have okay, so we agree that
he was
a hypocrite.
That ain't the issue.
So,
he was dead wrong.
Okay,
that
and then
not my problem.
Also for me, it was like, people focusing on the wife, like in the light of why she wearing the bonnet. It's like, y'all
That's
totally,
a strong woman.
It's like, and they're attacking her for how she looks. It doesn't matter if she was Beyonce. Because Beyonce got cheated on.
First of all,
her body, that was my thing.
Let me tell you, again, I'm always looking at things from the eyes of psychology. What I got from her in that outfit with the bonnet, what went over everybody's head, she dressed like that on purpose. There was a nonverbal message that she was communicating to anybody watching the video. And the nonverbal message was simply, I'm not buying this shit.
Okay.
See, if she would have got dressed up, then that would have communicated, I'm behind him, I'm backing this story, I believe everything he's saying. But the fact she came down to the living room in her pajamas was letting us know, don't fall for this, because I'm not falling for this. Okay. So I had no problem with the way she dressed. Right. That was a message to us that I am not invested in the message he about to give y'all. We totally missed the point of the bonnet. The bonnet means I'm not connected. That was the bonnet message.
Got you. I feel you on that, for sure. How are we on time? So we still running on the other audio? Okay, yeah, just let me know. And then
here's another conversation. And he's wrong. He's dead wrong. I'm not worried about him lying to the world, because 99% of the people on YouTube lie to the world. 99% of celebrities lie to the world. I'm not concerned about his lies on YouTube. We want to be entertained. And the Negroes on the YouTubian universe don't care about truth. They care about likes and views. They care about being entertained. You understand me? So they don't care if he told the truth or not. The issue is whether or not it's entertaining. So the YouTubian community does not function on truth. The YouTubian community functions on entertainment. You understand? So I could care less about whether he lied to the YouTube world. That ain't the point. He lied to his wife. Period. And now she has to suffer the repercussions of the dysfunctional YouTubian community. See, social network is the devil. It is absolutely the devil. And social network is one of the best examples we have to show you how dysfunctional and self-hating Black America is. And listen, social network is everybody their own media platform. 50 years ago, you had to go through a filter.
Right.
50 years ago, you couldn't say it unless you could verify it.
Right.
50 years ago, you had to go through the 5 major media companies to put anything out there.
Absolutely.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, it changed the game. Now everybody has a media platform. And look what we do. Go through YouTube. How many channels do you see are really dedicated to a good conversation about something relevant? How many channels do you see are focused on any of the core problems of Black America? The miseducation, the mass incarceration, the gentrification, the access to wealth, the police genocide. There's channels out there.
It's a few.
There's a few.
But
compared to everything else, you would not think that Black America was in a state of emergency if you look at YouTube. You got people, the whole channel is dedicated to gossip. The whole channel dedicated to slander. The whole channel dedicated to reality TV. The whole channel dedicated to sports. We are in a state of emergency fighting for the survival of our community, and we want to spend all day long talking about one man's infidelity when half of all Americans cheat on their spouse. That does not make it acceptable. But it simply says we got bigger fish to fry than that. But it begs forth another question that has to be handled. I'm going to introduce this, even though it's controversial, because it got to be discussed. Speaking as a psychologist, being brutally honest with you, I think one